Hi, I hope you're well. So, let's talk about no-buy, because we're coming up to the halfway point. I never did like intermediate updates last year when I did no-buy, but this year's very different, obviously, because no-buy year has become almost a compulsory thing for many people now. I mean, today's climate. So what I thought about is I talk about my personal no-buy year updates and then talk about the discussion of what's happening right now with consumerist habits in general, without getting too dark and deep. So if you're new to my channel, hi, my name is Chinsia. I've done 2 videos on no-buy because this is my second year of no-buy, so that you can look at to know what the heck I'm talking about. So the first one would be my no-buy year in review, and the second one would be my no-buy year rules, because obviously you do no-buy within the system, but it's not the same as low-buy, which low-buy means that nothing's off the cards, so you can buy something of any kind of field but in moderation, whereas no-buy, there are things that you cannot buy. So that's the difference between the two if you're confused, but let's get into it. So nothing really dramatic to report here. I've stuck to my no-buy year rules. However, things have changed. Where I have spent my money has been very different, and there's been some places where I spent a lot more money than I did last year, but I don't regret any of it. So let's talk about that. I'm basically even Stevens with my spending as of last year, but there are things that I haven't spent any money on in certain categories which I spent money on this year. So the first thing I've obviously allowed myself to spend money on is health and fitness. It was the core of my original rules. I was allowed to spend money in health and fitness, which meant I could go to the gym, I could go to a dance class if I really wanted to, or join a fitness class or do something. But obviously gyms and stuff are closed now, so that hasn't been happening. What I had to do, however, was invest some money into my own home gym equipment. So I had some home gym equipment already, but I gained a lot of muscle mass since I bought that original stuff, so it was totally outweighted. See what I did there? So I had to invest in some more weights. However, the investment I made into weights has almost been completely outweighed by the lack of gym membership I've been spending. So it's almost tit for tat. If I go another 2 months without spending money on a gym membership, it will be exactly tit for tat. So I wouldn't have spent any more money on health and fitness than I did last year. So there's that. The other thing that I spent more money on this year than last year is gifts for other people. But because local shops are closed and secondhand shops are closed, like thrift stores, etc., and charity shops, I haven't been able to save money in gift giving. So I've been spending a lot of money on gift giving because of the current circumstances, but I have been spending more money on other people this year. So it's because there's just nothing to cheer people up with. So I've been sending letters and sending cards to people and sending boxes of little vegan chocolates, or sending little bottles of wine, or sending books to people, and I've been doing that as much as I can, but just because everyone's going through crap and I want to be able to cheer people up in some way. Who doesn't love receiving post? It's lovely. And I've also been trying to support independent businesses that I've loved before lockdown in my own way. So little vegan sweetie shops, little vegan chocolate shops and donut shops, little vegan cafes and restaurants I've donated to their GoFundMe pages where I can, because I just don't want them to close, because I don't want the collapse of capitalism, believe it or not, and particularly independent businesses that I believe treat their staff ethically, have got an ethical basis to their business line, and are also just wonderful little businesses that are sweet. In Scotland, we take a lot of pride in independent businesses. There's a lot of support from the Scottish government when it comes to self-employment, business startup and entrepreneurship, and I just want to support my country, if that makes sense. I want to support my country's economy as much as I can through the ethical little realms that I've grown to love over my years. So there's that. I want to support them and the people who work for them and just their employers, etc. What has been a lovely little thing I've noticed as I've been like sending books to people is that all the local bookshops in Edinburgh are doing a bicycle delivery. So they come with their little bike and their little string of books, and it's just the cutest thing ever. I love it. Like, I do miss being a bookseller very much. I would love to be an independent bookshop seller rather than a corporate bookseller. But I love my job as I love it. But if I ever have to fold in the towel with self-employment, I think I just have to go back to bookselling, even though the pay is poor. But I do miss it. I'm jealous of these little booksellers on their bikes going around delivering books. I think it's adorable. Also, I've been donating more to charities and shelters, so animal shelters I've been donating way more to. I wish I could foster. They won't. I haven't got a big enough place for fostering. I would in a heartbeat foster. If I won the lottery I would have a big house that I could just foster animals all the time. That is my goal in life. I know that's like my true calling, is to foster dogs and cats, rehabilitate them, particularly dogs who have gone through trauma or anything like that. I just, weird thing. It's a weird thing I've had since I was a little child, but I know if I won the lottery, my dedication would be to the animals. Anyway, complete off point. So donating to shelters, donating to animal rescues abroad that I support, and also where else? Oh, Shelter. Shelter has been a charity that I've donated to quite a lot this year, just because people on the streets are so exposed and they're not getting support. It's just, do you feel it? You feel a lot of people need help right now. Food banks need help. People who are furloughed or potentially facing unemployment need help. Like, there feels to be a lot. And it can be overwhelming because I don't have that much money to donate to it. So I'm doing what I can, but I am very aware that I am missing out core sectors of people that I need to get around to supporting. But I think you can only focus on who you can support and do that to your best of your ability. Feeling a lot of anxiety about how many people I can't help or how many people are alone. Like, my best friend is alone and I hate that. She's in England and she can't see her fiance because they don't live in the same city, and I hate that she's alone. And it's just, I need to send her more books actually. I would love to send her some more stuff to just keep her busy. She's my care package best friend if you watch that video. So it gets anxiety inducing, as you can tell, that there's too many people that I can't help, from like, chill, calm down. Anyway, this is a no buy year, and we're talking about how consumerist habits are changing, and it has been very interesting. I would love to see a shift into a more sustainable interest from the entire world. I think people are seeing the benefits of not idolizing shallow social media stuff and realizing who the true heroes of our countries are, who are really supporting us, from the people who are working in the supermarkets, to the people who are working in the hospitals, to the people who are delivering, and they deserve our affection and praise. But you know what I mean, people worship people online, and celebrities, and invest in their companies and cultures and their messages, and there are people out there who are doing so much more, from the scientists in the labs to the people who are volunteering and taking care of the animals in the shelters. Like, them. I would love to see a shift in more sustainable alternatives. People have seen the benefit of what it's like in a world with less pollution, and whilst I'm reluctant to admit that I have my skepticism where it comes to people allowing to work from home more in the future and things like that, which would help decrease, traffic and pollution and air pollution and just stress in people. I would hope there is a shift in that realm, but I doubt it. I've also read up about the shifts in people buying bicycles because it's a daily allowance of going out, but also they can transport to and from places. I've seen people investing in nice clothes at home, which are more comfortable again. So fast fashion's almost coming a shift as well. Like, what do people actually want? Do they want going out clothes? Do they want more comfort clothes? And we've also come to this place where people are realizing that there are people being exploited in other countries that haven't got the health and safety measures that are necessary, and they cannot be exploited for just meaningless material and meaningless products that have no place in or sustainability in today's needs. I don't really know what I'm saying. I've just kind of gone on a rant about sustainability. I'd be so interested to hear what you found in your no buy, whether or not you found that you need to shop because it gives you that connection to the outside world, to people feeling more isolated and secluded, so they spend more money externally in order to feel like a connection with someone, or if you've actually just cut back entirely from spending anything because there's nowhere to browse, there's nowhere to look, there's nowhere to go, so you're not spending any money. I would love to hear it. I'm really interested in seeing if it's possible to make a positive change. The capitalistic structure that we had in place is not sustainable, environmentally speaking and also economically speaking, and it's shown that people's livelihoods and lives have been put at risk, and they should never have been put at risk in the first place. No one could have predicted this, but I would love to see a positive change. Will it happen? I don't know. I know consumerist changes are happening, and many people believe they will be permanent. We're going to be part of that generation when we're all elderly and grandchildren come into the homes and we're like, don't you dare come into my house without washing your hands first. Like, will such a thing be a permanent change, or will it just be generational? I have no idea. It'd be nice to think of a sustainable future for consumerism and jobs as well. I would like people in retail to finally be acknowledged for what they are and not be living on such pennies for a living. People who are in the service industry and delivery industry deserve the respect that they've had it for years. They've been working it for years. I've been in the 9 years in retail, saw how badly society treats people in the service industry, and it's horrific. Like, I can tell you stories of horrific treatment, and I didn't even have it as bad as some places in the world. They deserve the respect and they deserve the support, and our health industry as well needs all the love and support it can get, and they needed the support back when they were protesting and demanding better pay and demanding that junior doctors had their rights and demanding that the nurses got a pay rise, and no one gave it to them. And I'm going on a socialist rant right now, but I'll stop there. They needed it years and years ago, and it's taken a big catastrophe for people to wake up and realise how important just underpaid service people are. And that's what I would like to really see a change in capitalism in general. Sustainable, environmentalist, and also more ethical practices. Health and safety should be considered as a high priority. People's livelihoods and incomes should be considered a priority, and not exploiting workers in other countries for cheap, fast material. Like, we need to take things slower. It was speed that made the crash. If you go at a slow pace, there's less of an impact. There will always be an impact, but the slower the pace, the less of the impact. Sorry, this was kind of a really random video. This is what happens when I don't script the video. But there wasn't much to update on. I can't say what I didn't buy or what I did buy, because both are the same fields. But in summary, health, charity, less on food, strangely. Maybe it's because I just can't be bothered anymore. I'm at home. I'm very lazy when it comes to cooking, but also I'll be baking soon. If you want to see a funny baking video, please let me know. I cannot bake. Well, actually, no, that's a lie. I was a really good baker before I became vegan, and I've never baked since I went vegan. So I don't know, I'm probably a really awful baker, but there's some things I really want to make, and it'd be funny to film me doing it badly and having that memory of like, you couldn't bake that, could you? I don't know. I used to be so good at baking, but now I'm terrified because it's vegan. I don't know how things work. It's like it's going into a new scientific realm that I'm not privy to, but perhaps it's time to get in there. Don't know what that was. What was that? Anyway, let me know down below how your no-buy year is going, or if you spent more money this year than you expected, or spent less money this year than you expected. Let me know down below. Don't be ashamed if you have spent more money, for goodness sake. Like, no one could have expected this. So don't beat yourselves up about it, okay? Just have a general conversation and talk about how you're going to get back on track, you know, in the next 6 months, because you can make the whole bigger difference. We've got 6 months left of the year. That's a long time, you know? So I hope you're happy and healthy, and remember, books save lives, so keep reading.